From the wheat fields in the Riverina, New South Wales, Australia, welcome to the GCN Show.
Welcome to the GCN Show, brought to you by our friends at Wiggle.
This week, we are action-packed. We're talking about crashing, and more specifically, how you can avoid it.
And at the other end of the spectrum, we are actively courting it by trying to settle that long-standing question, can you ride a road bike on a pump track?
Yeah, and if you don't know what a pump track is, don't worry, we will explain that too. All that and more.
This week in the world of cycling, whilst we learnt what the difference between a cyclo-cross bike and a gravel bike is, we also learnt the difference between Cy and Ollie and a fully fledged professional rider. Step forward, Kasia Nuviadoma. That was probably gnarly.
It was, wasn't it? So while we now know the difference between a cross bike and a gravel bike, an ex-pro, a non-pro and a current pro, unfortunately, another comparison was also thrown into question last week, thanks to Matt Jones. Road bike versus dirt jump bike. What is the difference? Because honestly, Dan, I can't really tell.
I so wish I was capable of doing something like that.
I think
It's
you are,
fun,
mate.
isn't it?
It does look fun, but I mean, he makes it look easy. I reckon if you hit that jump with enough speed and just
Well,
did what
I
he did.
wouldn't. I'd bottle out at the last moment and
Yeah,
just
okay.
crash, basically. But that part of a longer YouTube video from Matt, if you would like to go and check it out.
That's right. Now, finally, this week, we're actually in the process of learning something as we film this.
Yes, we have come to Castle Combe racetrack, which is very close to our HQ back in Bath in the UK. To answer one of cycling's most important questions, we're going to find out just how far you can push it around a corner.
That's right. How fast can you go? How far can you lean?
Unfortunately, we don't know the answer yet because James he's trying to wriggle his way out of doing this experiment. for some reason.
Hurry up, James. Now, all being well, we should have a video for you on this very subject on Saturday. That's Saturday, James. No pressure, mate.
I hope he gets on with it soon. Anyway, since crashing is pretty much inevitable at some point during today's shoot, we thought we would actually tackle the subject. How do you avoid crashing and what skills can you use and employ so that you don't hit the deck?
Yeah. Interesting at the side here, Dan. In the UK, we say that when you crash, you come off.
Yeah.
Apparently, we can't say that in the US.
Can't see you coming off. Oh, come on.
No. Have you come off yet, James? Probably best you don't hear the answer to that one, isn't it?
Come back inside, because quite frankly, it was getting pretty blooming cold waiting for James to do his thing, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it?
2 coats on.
Right. So what are the 5 best bits of advice we can give for avoiding crashing?
Well, in order to talk about how to avoid crashing on a bike, I firstly think we should talk about the scenarios that lead to crashing on a bike in the first place. So let's start with group rides. In that situation, it's almost always down to a touch of wheels, isn't it? Whether that's in racing or on a social ride.
That's right. It's kind of a precarious situation riding in a group of cyclists, isn't it? Because there's not much space between you, therefore it doesn't take much for you to end up with some overlapping wheels, and then not just one, but potentially multiple people go down. So what's the solution?
Lessons. Because an upright, successful group ride is almost always down to each and every rider looking after each and every other rider's best interests.
That's right. You need a boss.
You do need a boss, yeah. However annoying it is, and it is blooming annoying to have somebody shouting instructions out on group rides, both Cy and I both learned an awful lot from club rides as youngsters, where we were given quite a few sort of pointers.
Yeah, it's a nice way of putting shouting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pointers. But often it is just the small things, isn't it? So, for example, don't sit directly behind the wheel in front. Sit a little bit off to one side, because that means that you buy yourself a little bit more time if the person in front was to do anything unpredictable, i.e. jamming their brakes on, for example.
Or you could not jam your brakes on at all when you're in a group ride,
point.
if at all possible. It's vital there's communication between the front of the group and the back of the group as to what's coming up.
That's right, it could be verbal communication, it could be pointers, hand signals. So for example, pointing out potholes in the road so that no one behind either crashes straight through them or sees one and then jams their brakes on. So if you have the experience, then certain situations call for you to share it.
But without being bossy.
Without being bossy.
Right, scenario number 2, the inability to unclip from your pedals.
I missed the beanbag.
Oh, that most embarrassing of crashes. You pull up to a set of traffic lights, you come to a stop, you start to tilt, and you carry on tilting until you hit the deck.
It hurts your pride, doesn't it, as much as your body, this particular crash. But that twisting motion, it's just so easy to do, isn't it, when you're concentrating. And then nigh on impossible to do when you lose concentration.
That's right, so engage your mind to disengage your foot. Although actually cycling nirvana then is where you end up disengaging your mind and your feet naturally follow. That and also winding off the spring tension on your pedals to make it easier to get in and out.
That also helps, as does plenty of practice too, doesn't it? Now this one might seem blindingly obvious, if you'll pardon the pun, but so many people do that still, don't they? Look down either at their front wheel perhaps, or their head unit, and what that means is they don't give themselves ample time to react to any upcoming hazards.
Yeah, I do it. I look at my chain set a lot.
Chris Froome does it.
Yeah, and no one knows what he's looking at, but it really is important to do it, isn't it? I mean, the more time you give yourself to react to upcoming hazards, the more chance you've got to avoid it. And it doesn't have to be just a hazard. It could be finding your line on a descent or going around a corner, as well as things that you desperately want to avoid.
Yeah, that's definitely a big one, isn't it? Look up the road. On to another biggie now, your equipment. Now don't worry, we're not about to tell you that you need to upgrade your bike in order to avoid crashing, but what you do need to do is ensure that the equipment you currently have is in good working order.
That's right. Brakes need to be working pretty well. Tyres not worn out, blown out sidewall, recipe for disaster. Chain not worn, broken chains definitely going down. Gears worn out, under pressure, skipping, probably going to go down as well. Basically, if you ever look at your bike and think, probably all right for one ride, it might not be.
I've seen a really nasty one from an old worn chain.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got skills, which I think we're going to spell with a Z in this particular case. We reckon that building skills through using different disciplines of cycling is a great way to prevent yourself from crashing. I'm going to give a couple of examples. Firstly, Peter Sagan, background in mountain biking, almost never crashes at all.
Touch wood.
Matthew van der Poel, background in cyclo-cross and mountain biking, skills for days on the road.
Yeah, Daniel Lloyd, background in mountain biking. Check out how he holds it up whilst riding on an iceberg.
I still can't believe I held that up.
No, I can't either.
I did. It was luck, I think.
Mountain biking, that's what it was. But seriously though, actually practicing cycling skills in a different discipline, super beneficial, because the ability to feel confident if your wheels are sliding a little bit because you've practiced in mountain biking, incredibly valuable when you're on the road. The ability to bunny hop out of harm's way, perhaps something that you might also learn when mountain biking. That instant instinct not to hang on to your brakes if the situation arises, something you might learn in mountain biking, something you might learn in track racing, in fact.
But hang on a minute, because the riders that compete at the Red Hook Crits are essentially track riders on tarmac, aren't they? And they seem to crash regularly.
Yeah. They don't have any brakes though, do they? So maybe stick them back on a road bike with the ability to slow down and, you know, maybe they'll be all right.
Well, I'll take your word for it. Anyway, all this talk about how to avoid crashing, and remarkably, we've yet to mention practicing cornering.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of people wipe out on corners, don't they? Speaking of which, I wonder if Hank's wiped out yet. Check in, see where he's at.
No, he's still rubber side down, isn't he? Must be disappointing.
It is.
I guess it's actually harder to crash on a corner on purpose than you might think.
Well, I didn't think it would be, because he seemed to find it remarkably easy to crash when he was racing, didn't he?
How weird.
Like James Losley Williams coming around that corner, just lost his back wheel.
Anyway, we would like to hear from you as ever on this very subject. Let us know what is the best piece of advice you have ever had to avoid crashing on your bike.
Yeah, let us know in the comments section down below.
Read them out next week. In the meantime, we have been trying to find out something else this week. Can you ride a road bike on a pump track?
Well, can you? To find out, we have come to Bristol's premier pump track. For those of you wondering what a pump track is, well, as you can see, it's like a micro BMX track. The idea is that you go around it without pedaling. To get your forward momentum, you pump instead. Yeah, I don't really know what that is either. Anyway, wish me luck. Good job I'm on an aero bike. Whoa! Yes! Woohoo! Nailed it! Cheers!
Nice try.
Thanks, man.
But
What do you mean,
I
nice
wouldn't
try?
say that's nailed. It's going to have to look like this. You ready? May I borrow that, please?
Sure. Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem, mate.
Should I?
It's not
Yeah.
actually mine, so
Is it not?
no, do what you like.
Whose is it?
It's James's.
It looks like me. Now that's how you ride a pump track, Simon.
It's time now for GCN's weekly inspiration, which we have to thank Wiggle for sponsoring. Each week, 3 of you get to win Wiggle vouchers. £50 the amount for third place, £75 for second, and £100 for the top prize, which you can spend on anything you want over on the Wiggle online shop.
That's not bad, is it?
Not
For
bad.
taking a photograph. An inspiring photo though. And starting with third place, which is this, sent in by John Clark, also known as Gone Fishing Forever. Not fishing today though. Oh no, look at that autumnal bike ride. How cool is that?
That's a really nice photo. I'm a sucker for an inspirational autumnal photo, I must admit.
Yeah, that's Mazama in Washington, in the US there. So,
Oh, it's a full photo then, isn't it?
yeah, it is, yeah. Oh, that is so cool,
Yeah,
isn't
well
it?
done, £50 on its way to you, John. In second place is Ryan, looking mightily cold in some snow and wet conditions there.
Yeah.
And apparently he was too. Right on the first day of the European summer, made the rookie mistake of dressing like I would for the Australian summer. I've never been so cold, but the road was too incredible to stop climbing.
Not conventionally inspiring, you might think, but actually a photo of like a grim ride. It kind of conjures up memories of those rides that you've survived despite being miserably wet and cold. So yeah, fair play. I like that one a lot.
Well done, Ryan. £75 on its way to you. Our winner, or at least winner of the first place prize this week, is Alan Carlino, who sent this in on Instagram with the hashtag GCN Inspiration. I conquered Dante's Peak, cycled 25 miles from Furnace Creek Campground at 190 feet below sea level to Dante's Vista at 5,500 feet above sea level. And that is the view that he got at the top.
That's quite a climb, isn't it? And I love the fact that you start below sea level. Imagine all the extra oxygen down there.
Yeah, it must be
You'd
flying
going
down there.
so fast. Yeah, fantastic. Right, there we go. 3 worthy winners for you this week. If you want to be in with a shout at getting your hands on one of these Wiggle vouchers, then all you got to do is send us your photos either via the uploader, link to which is in the description, or using the hashtag GCN Inspiration on Instagram.
It's now time for cycling shorts.
We're going to start cycling shorts with a story that seems rather timely given that it was Remembrance Day on Sunday. This was a story on the Leader Post that talked about a bike used in World War I by the Canadian Corps Cyclist Battalion.
That's right, so apparently those bikes used to get loaded up with 45 kilos of equipment before being used on reconnaissance missions. And indeed, the story has it that the first ever casualty of World War I was a cyclist on such a mission, a chap called John Parr.
I'm not sure whether it's because I'm so familiar with cycling as a sport, but that story I found particularly moving.
Yeah, I do.
I have to say, it's one that's hard to move on from. But we should try. Next story is from Forbes, and it's about all the Deliveroo cyclists and the data they've been collecting on them.
That's right, so the data comes courtesy of Deliveroo's algorithm called Frank, and basically what it has calculated is that actually their bicycle delivery riders are faster more of the time than their motorbike delivery riders. So proof, if proof were needed, that actually the bike is the fastest form of urban transport, as well as being the least polluting. Even with those massive rucksacks on your back.
It's good to know, Si, that we have added a little bit to that data set, isn't it?
That's true, actually. Good job that your timer didn't start before you went into that revolving door as opposed to after. Otherwise, well, it would have been a different story.
Amateur.
More bikes used for work now because a man over in Portland, Oregon has created a pedal-powered street sweeper because he's got so fed up with leaves clogging up all the bike lanes.
That's right, it's not inventor Bill Strite's first attempt at creating a pedal-powered utility vehicle, but this one, while it's still in its prototype phase, will ultimately be powered, or towed behind, should I say, an electric bike. How cool is that?
It's very cool indeed. Bikes are very useful. What more can you say than that?
Well, they are, yeah.
Engineers, in fact, over at SRAM have also come up with a very novel use for rim brakes. Here is a game of Wi-Fi fishing.
That looks great fun, doesn't it? Say what you like about disc brakes, Dan, but they cannot do that.
They can't.
Oh no. Right, we have some dates for your diaries. You ready? We've got a GCN Live Racing Series on Zwift coming up.
We have indeed. So 3 different races on 3 different courses. The first of which is on Tuesday the 20th of November on their New York course. Exactly 1 week later, there's the climbing race up the Alpe du Zwift. And then finally, the grand finale on Tuesday the 4th of December is a circuit race around London.
Yeah, GCN presenters will be competing in all of them. You are invited to compete against us, or maybe you could team up with us. How about that? It's a cheeky little devious pact. Anyway, the first 2 are going to be broadcast live on Zwift, and then the final round will be right here on GCN Live.
Yeah, really looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd love it if you could get involved as well. Before we finish with your diaries though, we want you to put another marker in there on the 17th of November. That is when an auction begins, and all of the money raised in this auction will go towards World Bicycle Relief, which, as you will probably know, is a charity very close to our hearts. The auction is for a specialised Alley Sprint with a custom paint job from Felipe Pantone.
Oh, look at that! That is cool, isn't it?
Very nice indeed, yes.
I'll be quite tempted. That's like bikes as art, isn't it? That could be one of those bikes that you buy and then in 10 years' time is worth $250,000.
Well, I might bid for it then.
Go for it, mate. If you make $250,000, you heard it from me. And if you lose a load of money, there's nothing to do with me. Right. Now, we've got a bit of racing news for you, really. Racing news in the form, not necessarily of news that Mathieu van der Poel has won 2 more cyclo-cross races. There was a DVV and also a Super Prestige, both cracking races, both available on our Facebook page. Both were live on Saturday and Sunday, but now are there for your viewing at your leisure. But really, the news was that after the Super Prestige on Sunday, he said that he did not make a single mistake for the entire race, despite how muddy and slippery and technical it was. He said he rode technically his best race ever, which is pretty remarkable when you think about it, isn't it?
Well, especially remarkable given that he's now won 38 rounds of the Super Prestige Series at just 23 years of age.
Yeah, and only now he doesn't make a mistake. It's just showing off, isn't he?
Anyway, we'll finish cycling news with a really good story. I like this one.
Yeah.
Italian pro Alan Marangoni is 34 years old. He's about to wrap up his career. In fact, he has done. He did so on Sunday at his very last race, the Tour de Okinawa, which he won. He's never won a race in his entire career, and then he goes and does it on the very last race of his career. Last race, first win, last win, bish bash bosh. Bob's your uncle. That's the way to do it, isn't it?
That is the way to do it. Congratulations, Alan.
It has been a tough week out here in Mant. We're so sorry we couldn't be in the office, guys.
No, we're not. Don't be silly. We've had an amazing week over here. We've ridden some absolutely stunning climbs. We've seen some stunning local villages. The food we've tried has been amazing.
It's been fantastic. I did get defeated by one of those climbs, and I'm a bit obsessed about that still. So Jebel Akhtar, I am coming back for you next year in the Haute Route de Mant to try and, well, get my own back, really.
You may have been defeated, but you did set a new challenge for our viewers to attempt.
I did. You should watch out for that video coming very soon. And I think what surprises the most, really, is just how friendly and welcoming the people are.
Yep, it's been amazing.
And the coffee. I did not expect the coffee to be that good. Watch on for some impressions of our trip.
Right, let's go catch our dinner.
Yeah, desperate for a swim.
This week, the world of tech has seen the release of the new Continental GP5000 tyre, the long-awaited replacement to the GP4000. And perhaps the most exciting thing about it is that it's going to be available in a tubeless-ready version, which is particularly interesting because Continental is the last major brand to embrace road tubeless, and in doing so, it suggests that Continental believes, at least, that road tubeless is indeed the future. The GP5000 isn't just tubeless though, it's also said to have lower rolling resistance, better puncture protection, more comfort, and is lighter than the outgoing GP4000. But for more details, head over and check out our first look video. For more tech, you can join myself and John here in the tech studio on Thursday, where, amongst other things, our main talking point will be, should all racing be done on the same bikes and equipment? John's just got back from Japan and he's been inspired by Japanese keirin racing, where they do just that. So, guess we'll see you Thursday.
Next up, it is hack/bodge of the week. A reminder that the hashtag to get involved in this is GCN Hack on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, or just use the uploader. There's a link to which in the description just below this video. We're going to start this week over in Canada, Beaumont in Alberta to be precise, from Benjamin Seiler. I broke my physique seat clip, so I converted it to a GoPro mount. So clean.
That is clean.
Yes, I would agree with you, Benjamin. That looks very neat and tidy indeed.
That is grade A hacking. Fair play. That is officially a hack, don't you think?
Yeah, really think that's very impressive indeed.
Nice. Okay, next up. Technically, this looks like it's one of our own hacks, but it's not. This was sent in by Dan. I love it, like a glowing water bottle. What is it, like a light strapped to a full water bottle?
It certainly stands out, doesn't it? That's exactly what you want when you come out to a roundabout and a driver's coming round so that they can see you.
That looks wicked, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's almost like something you could get on Kickstarter.
That is definitely
if you could make it more complicated and make it look less like people could just do it at home.
Yes. Next up, we have a video. This came in from Prospero Gogo, whose kid needed a little bit more resistance on his rollers whilst using Zwift. I'd never thought of that myself.
No way!
Using footballs.
Genius. It's probably a bit too much resistance for you these days, isn't it?
Yeah, I probably would leave it as it was if it was given left to my choice.
Yeah, I love that. All right then, last one. This was sent in by Richard Pix. He says, not really sure there are words to describe what this even is, which seems like a difficult thing to submit to Hack or Bodge then, but certainly there is a lot going on this solar-powered electric trike with
to me,
ghetto blasters?
That looks like a low-rent DeLorean bike to me.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I'm going to say bodge. I mean, there's a lot going on there, but most of it looks like a bodge to me.
Yeah, I think given that we don't understand it, we should probably say bodge, just in case.
If we gave bodge to everything we don't understand, Si, there'd be a lot of bodges about, wouldn't there?
I like the idea of a solar-powered e-bike, though. That is interesting.
Oh, we've seen them before, haven't we? They're normally just huge solar panels, though, aren't they? Like a table.
Good point. Yeah. Right, there we go then. We got some great hacks and some fairly iffy bodges this week, but keep them coming in. We absolutely love checking them out. Who knows, next week it might be you that gets a hack.
It's Caption Competition time now, your weekly chance to win a GCN Camelback water bottle for the best caption of the week. Here's last week's photo. It came from the Saitama Criterium in Japan, and we have a winner here at the top side.
It is from Brian Messimer. He said, quite poetically actually, cycling's movie stars, riding ever toward the yellow sunny sky, through canyons, over the Alps. I'm not sure where that bit comes in. Oh, Alpecin, got ya. Through rain and snow, chasing rainbows. I mean, there's a lot going on there, Bri. Nice work.
It's an A for effort, and it's a GCN Camelback water bottle for effort too, Brian. Let us know your address on Facebook, and we'll get that out to you.
Right then, this week's photo. well, that's me, isn't it?
It is, Si. Yes.
That face says it all.
Well, I think my caption will be all about transferable skills. Sagan, mountain biker, almost never crashes. Van der Poel, mountain biker, cyclist rider, skills for days. Si Richardson. Well, that's the end of it. Not very catchy, I must admit, but leave your captions in the comment section down below for your chance to win a bottle this time next week. We'll be picking out our favourite one.
Yeah, and that is actually going to be a video on GMBN as well, so make sure you check that one out.
Yeah, but I think you did actually clear those doubles, didn't you? It's quite impressive. Wow. Transferable skills, mate.
Thanks, mate.
We've picked out a few of our favourite comments again for you now. Most of them seem to focus on presenter hairstyles, don't they?
Well, there's been some strong hairdos of late on the channels. First of all, underneath the We Built a Hyperbike video, where some people maybe still didn't quite understand why there was a mullet and moustache and a baby oil. But anyway, Maurizio Alcina Lee said, interesting reflection on the theme. But what's more interesting is how good Si looks with long hair, moustache and synth music. It's like a retro and cooler mix of Eddie Merckx and Peter Sagan. No one's ever said anything nicer before, I think. James Mason, meanwhile, just said I look like a skinny Hulk Hogan, which
I'd say that's probably a compliment too.
You think?
Son.
Oh,
I think
thanks,
so,
mate. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Gunshot enduro. It's like his hair is made of iron. There's a huge electromagnet outside the room. This is from the GCN Racing News Show on Monday, and I can see what you mean about Ollie presenting that. Incredible gel or matte wax or something.
Or an electromagnet, to be fair, mate. Because that really does look like the only explanation. Anyway, Dan, you'll be pleased to know, does not escape lightly. Niels Heldens, thank you very much, as ever, to you. Dan has that proper Monday morning after a hard weekend look going on. It's a look you've been fighting for years.
I do most days these days.
Finally caught up with you, mate.
I mean, it is, most days are like a Monday morning after a hard weekend, to be quite perfectly honest. And finally, Christian Clausen said, Grave Cross.
Gravel cross.
Yes, gravel cross. He's missing the L out there. I just read out what I see on the page. Wouldn't that be gross? Good point.
It's a very good point, yeah.
You should coin that phrase.
Gravel cross is just gross. It's got legs, that race format, you know?
Yeah.
Could be the answer.
We do enjoy reading all your comments, don't we? Except
Yeah.
for the really insulting ones. There's plenty of those, but we tend to try and ignore them. On the channel this week then, on Wednesday, we're going through some common winter questions and answer them as best we can. And on Thursday, we're going to go through 8 mistakes that we all make, but we probably shouldn't. Friday then, as ever, is Ask GC Anything.
Yep, Saturday, if James hurries up and actually does find the limit of traction, we will have just how far you can lean a road bike. I can't wait to see that one, mate. I really can't. Fingers crossed he's okay. I mean, he escaped Red Hook all right, didn't he?
Yeah, we've got insurance.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be all right. He's got another 8 lives left. Then on Sunday, really excited about this one too. Chris and Emma have just been out in Oman, as you've seen earlier in the show. And they've got an amazing, epic adventure ride for us. So yeah, that looks absolutely mouthwatering. Followed by Monday, it's the Racing News Show. And of course, Tuesday is the GCN Show.
Number 306. Also on Sunday, we have more live cyclo-cross for you, so make sure you check into our Facebook page for that. Some exciting news now, because there's a huge sale going on at shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com. Lots of it is half price.
Yeah.
This one is 25% off, this nice light blue t-shirt, if you head over to the website. But Sai is sporting a garment which does have 50% off.
Yeah.
It's nice grey velo hoodie.
I know, I can't believe it. I absolutely love these. Anyway, loads more stuff. We've got scarves.
Oh yeah.
At 50% off. Put it on, Lottie. And also essentials cases as well. Not just these, of course. We've also got cycling kit that's in the sale, as well as clothes, all sorts of other stuff. Make sure you check it out. The prices are not going to hang around like that forever, so get in quick.
Yeah, shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com, as we mentioned, and you'll find a link to that in the description below this video.
It's time now for Extreme Corner, and not wanting to be outdone, given that James is currently finding the limits of cornering traction, and Blake showed us how to ride a pump track on a road bike. I show you how to gurn whilst desperately trying to clear some doubles. Dan narrowly escapes death on an iceberg. Ollie has got a little something up his sleeve from Taipei.
Here at the Taipei show, there's loads of demo areas with loads of cool and exciting stuff going on, so I thought I'd come down and represent Team GCN. So I'm going to have a go at this this BMX malarkey. I mean, I've not done it before, but I mean, how hard can it really be?
Impressive stuff from Ollie there, isn't it? I like to see Ollie doing an Ollie. Maybe we should take up skateboarding. Bad joke, but anyway.
Terrible joke.
Yes, well, it's the end of the show. That's all I've got left. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to get involved in the comment section to let us know what the best piece of advice you've ever had is for avoiding crashing on your bike.
That's right. And if you've enjoyed this show, despite Dan's terrible joke at the end, please give us a thumbs up. And if you want to watch another video, please make sure you check out Gravel Cross, or Gross, as it is now called.
Grave Cross.